What's going on, everybody? How are we doing? We're inside the kitchen and dining room area today. We're not going to be in the gym because I want to talk to you about your cravings, what they are, why you're having them, and maybe why you're experiencing them so often. So, in the comments below, before we get started, go ahead and hashtag I'm here, hashtag replay, because I really want to know if you are paying attention. And if something sticks out to you, write it in the comments below because this is super important because most of us have cravings. Most of us always try to not fall into giving in to those cravings, and sometimes we regret it. And most of the time, we give into those cravings anyway. So, why not try and give yourself a little taste and let your body get those cravings out of your system, and then you can get back onto your routine of eating healthier options and having the best part of your day. So remember that cravings are totally natural. Let me know if you're hearing me okay. Yes, I'm making noodles. You want Pringles? Okay. But in the comments below, I want to hear some wins. I want to hear how your weekend went. I want to know exactly what it is that you were experiencing this weekend and how we can go about helping you fix the things that you were experiencing that were bad and congratulate you on the things that happened that were good. Hold on 1 second to get this boy some Pringles, and I will be right back. Just 1 moment. Yes, Langston. Pringles. Good boy. I think they're up here. I was trying not to get interrupted today, so that's why I'm here and I'm just knocking the table over. That's why I'm here and I'm trying to get my headphones to work a little bit more so you can hear me better. So clearly, it wasn't as planned as I thought it was. But other than that, I want you to tell me some of your wins again. We're going to get started here shortly. I'm going to tell you a win. This weekend, got some rest, was able to kick it up a notch, was feeling under the weather for about the past week, right? 4th of July, had a great time, got back into the routine once I got back from vacation, and then made myself, because I was feeling a little ill, take some more time off of working out because I knew that I wasn't going to be at my best if I did not let myself rest. So at that point, I went ahead and decided, you know what, we're going to rest a couple more days and then we'll get started right back on Friday again and then get back into the routine on Monday. So I did Friday and I did yesterday. Body is sore. Body is sore. To push myself a lot harder. But also, because on Friday it was really rough because I was sick. Either I didn't feel any symptoms, but I can tell my body was tired. I needed rest, so I listened. And when you listen, it's always going to be helpful. You're out for a few days rather than a whole month, right? So let me hear some cravings that you have in the comments below, and let's see what we can do in order to help you minimize that craving or give you a simple switch to help you feel better about the decisions that you make with those cravings. So at first, we're going to try and break it down, see why you're having those cravings. Now, if you're having those cravings, it's more than likely you're not getting enough food, and more than likely you're restricting yourself too much that your body needs those type of carbohydrates, needs those simple sugars in order to be more energized or in order just to get through the day. Because if you're not eating enough, your body's going to go to the most highest calorie or very high sugar content. And basically, that's candy, that's chocolate, that's a lot of things that you aren't going to feel as good about eating. And those are the things that you're trying to restrict yourself from. So, in order to help yourself not have so many of those cravings, let yourself eat. Make yourself some delicious food. Pack yourself some sweets, either complex carbohydrates such as fruits and vegetables to help you with those cravings before eating those delicious chocolates or candy that you have around the office or around the house. Or if you're craving some of your kids' food, my kids have Pringles, they have chips, they have all the stuff that I don't really always want to eat because they're high in fat and I'm trying to cut lower on the fat content. So at that point, I make myself, if I'm feeling that I need those cravings, I'm going to go make myself a sandwich, something that has less fat, something that has more protein, and either helps me with the craving. And if it's not the craving that it's cutting, it's going to be something else. So usually if it's a salty snack like chips or something else, you're usually in a craving or in a protein deficit because your body isn't getting enough protein. So it's going to try and get that salty. It wants you to have that protein. It wants you to have those chips. It's going to find in whatever type of food you have around the house, which is usually those simple carbohydrates that are going to be high in fat and high in calories and not much in protein. So then all of a sudden, those cravings are going to be so strong that you're not going to be able to handle them anymore. And then you're going to break down. Then all of a sudden, you're finding yourself overeating or, in the worst case scenario, binge eating at the end of the day. So in order to help yourself, pack yourself a little bit of your craving foods. Rather than bringing yourself the whole bag of them, pack them a little small bags and put a few in there. So if you have those cravings, again, you only have 2 of them rather than the whole bag. So in that case, you're eating less of those foods that you're trying to avoid, but you're not avoiding them totally. So win-win. You're not overeating and you're not totally taking away the best snacks that you like, right? Just one moment. I'll be right back. Getting your noodles, Langston. They are done. Yes, they're done. You know what? We're gonna go ahead and bring you over here while I'm doing certain things, so it's easier for me to go ahead and keep you updated. So we're making noodles, all the stuff the boys love, and all the stuff that I don't like to eat a lot of. I'm gonna get them for you, Langston. But most of all, I don't restrict myself. So if there's a time that I want a piece or a little taste of these certain types of food, I just have a little bit. I learned myself to saying, hey, I just want to try a little bit. Let's see if my craving goes away. Rather than eating the whole thing, I'm eating very little of it, and I feel better about the decision that I make. So if I'm still feeling that craving after I've eaten that food or eaten that certain type of snack that I'm trying to avoid, I will go ahead and see what it is that my body is craving, such as carbohydrates. Complex carbohydrates are the way to go. So in that sense, you want to make sure that you are trying not to totally restrict yourself. There you go, Langston. Okay. Oh, yay, noodles. That's right. Here we go. The life of being a parent or a busy individual can always be a little bit hard. It may be a little hot. I put some ice in there, Langston, so just be careful. Blow on it. Make sure you blow on it, okay? Okay. Let's bring you back. Got my double chin there. All right. So make sure you're not totally restricting yourself from certain foods. Now, if you're restricting yourself, is number 2. If you're restricting yourself from certain foods, such as sweets, and you're trying to eat less of them, so you're totally taking them out, or no sugar at all. Remember, sugar is sugar. Yes, it's not always the healthiest, but you can find certain foods that have less sugar or contain a sugar substitute, right? So if those are things that you're craving the most of, let's say you like creamer in your coffee, or let's say you want something that tastes more sugary, instead of using cane sugar or using high sugar substitutes, use non-caloric substitutes for those sugars. Now, the ones that I use, and the one that I use the most, I cannot talk today, is going to be stevia. It is going to be from the stevia plant, so it's all natural, non-caloric. So if I need that sweet in my mouth, I go ahead and put some of that in my coffee. I don't use a lot of creamer because it is way too sweet. I don't use a lot of stevia in my coffee. I get a few teaspoons of it so that I'm able to cut down on my sweet tooth. Yes, it is a non-caloric substitute, but it's still giving you that sweet tooth that you want. So if you're somebody that likes soda pop, go for the stevia option, or go for the 0-calorie option, or the 0-sugar option. That's going to lower your sugar intake throughout the day, but you're not restricting yourself from the really good tasting sodas. So try these things in order to eliminate your cravings or feel bad about the decision that you made for that craving. So if you are craving and you have kids' food in front of you, or you're just like, man, that just looks really good, allow yourself to have a taste of it. And when I mean a taste, a few, not the whole thing. Or if you want to allow yourself to have a certain amount, mostly the serving size is what people will usually eat, and how many calories will that be. Now, if you're a food logger like myself, the best way that you can do is grab and count out how many chips, count out how many sweets, count out and put them in a bowl and put the bag back into the pantry, or put the sweets away at a site after you have grabbed all of them for the serving size that equals the amount of calories that you want to eat or consume for that snack. So make sure that you put the bag away and don't take the bag with you. Once you take the bag with you, that gives your mind the go ahead to say, you know what, let's have some more. Ooh, I'm still hungry. Let's have some more. Ooh, I'm still hungry. Let's have some more. And then all of a sudden the bag is gone in one sitting. When you only meant to have a few, you had the whole bag. So now instead of having 150 calories, you had 2,000 in one sitting. And it's very easy to do if we're not conscious about our decisions to maybe put the bag away. So take your time on these cravings. Make sure that you are not restricting yourself from a certain macronutrient, such as carbohydrates. Or if you are noticing in your food logger, like myself, that maybe you're not consuming enough protein, sometimes your body will crave foods that are salty. All right. So if you need those carbohydrates and you're trying to get rid of the cravings, go for some more carbohydrates. Complex carbohydrates are not bad for you. They're not bad for you at all. Remember, our body is and will have carbohydrates as its main energy source. So everything that goes into your body gets broken down into the simplest form, which is glucose. Okay, Zion, I'll be right with you, okay? And then glucose gets stored, right? And then glucose gets stored in the muscles, in the rest of the body, and places that you probably don't want it to be stored, which is either your back of your thigh, your booty, right here on your back, somewhere in the arms, right here. So all these places you're trying to get rid of, and you're restricting yourself from certain foods, ends up being the places where they're going to be showing the most, right? So if your cravings are too big and too powerful and too strong for you to deny, make sure that you are allowing yourself to have a small taste. In moderation is what I tell my clients all the time. So if you're not doing this in moderation, then you're going to be overeating. Then you're going to be feeling horrible about the decision that you made. and horrible about yourself because you had too many of those high calorie, high fat snacks. So instead, number one, grab yourself a certain amount from the bag and only have that certain amount for the snack. Number two, since you are having these cravings, make sure you food log and show and look at what your carbohydrate intake is. Now, if you're very low on the carbohydrate intake, that's probably why you're having a craving for sweets or even those salty chips and high fat and high carbohydrate and calorie foods. Now, number three, make sure that you are allowing yourself the time that it needs to go ahead and tell your body you're done eating. So allow your body to tell, what I should say is allow your mind to tell your body and allow your body to tell your mind that you're done eating. So make sure you're not eating very fast, that you're taking your time to taste everything, that you're taking your time to eat, and that you are being able to enjoy the food that you eat. Yes, 30 minutes is perfect amount of time. Remember, it takes 20 minutes just for your mind and your body to communicate that you are full. So don't go eating a ton of food really fast because you're super hungry and then now you're eating everything and then all of a sudden you feel extremely full and just horrible about the foods that you ate. So the reasons why you were having those cravings, you're very low in carbohydrates or just not eating enough in general. Number two, you are restricting yourself from certain macronutrients, and that could be fats and carbohydrates and proteins all at once. Number three, stop trying to totally get rid of certain foods. If you still love those foods, you should be able to incorporate them into your healthy lifestyle because your lifestyle depends on the rest of your life, not just this quick fix. All right, so hopefully you've learned some things and I've given you some value today. I just want to serve you the best way that I can, and this is one of those ways. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one. If someone else that you know is having a hard time with their cravings and is not able to get a hold of why they're having these cravings or not being able to control them, send them this video. Maybe this can help them. Remember, all of us have cravings, and if we don't, we're not human because we like food, right? Food is life, and life needs to revolve around food, right? All right, everybody. Coach Isaac is out. Wishing you the best Monday of your life. Have a great day, and I will see you again.